do you think it's a good idea to invest in the airlines now? Yeah. So I, I I'm not a big fan of the airlines. I've rented them before when I worked in the hedge fund industry as shorts and sometimes longs, but more so shorts. Um, yeah, yeah, it's tough. You got to do your own research, and you got to also look at so many different factors, like the price of oil, for example. But let me tell you something about Southwest Airlines. You're going to love this. This is fascinating. So Southwest Airlines, which is a discount carrier similar to Ryanair in Europe, Southwest Airlines, based in the United States, ticker LUV, because their headquarters are in Texas, Lovejoy Field. Southwest Airlines, what they did in the early 2000s was they realized that, my goodness, if oil goes up a lot, it's going to hurt our company and our profits. And so what Southwest Airlines did was they hedged the price of oil, okay, to the extent that it didn't matter at that time for a decade or so. If the price of oil went to $150 a barrel, they would always get it for $30 a barrel. And it was a risk too, because if oil went down to $10 a barrel, they still had to pay $30 a barrel for a decade. But what happened was they did that. And then in 2008, the price of oil right before the financial crisis peaked in the super cycle at $150 a barrel. And what they did, Southwest, is very predatory. They started cutting prices to kind of push the other airlines into bankruptcy, right? So I don't like airlines as a business. They're too exposed to commodities. Yeah, so not a big fan. But I am a big fan of airlines in other countries, not American airline companies. And I'll tell you why. So I used to invest a lot in Latin America. And I remember, I think it was 05 or 06, whatever it was, looking at Brazil, for example, which I love. And I remember thinking Brazil has a lot of great infrastructure companies and airline companies, and also in Chile with land airlines, for example, a lot of great companies that are similar to America in the 60s. Let me explain what that means. In the 1960s, in America, the airlines were a wonderful growth industry. They were growth stocks, not value, right? Not like and not widow makers, right? They were great investments. They were growth stocks. And so when I looked at Latin America in the early 2000s or whatever it was, I saw Latin America as kind of like the U.S. in the 60s, right? And so I did invest in airlines down there. And even in Latin America, I invested in a lot of real estate companies in Brazil like Gafisa and Cirela, as well as Localiza, which is a wonderful car rental company. Yeah. So I'm not a fan of the airlines in America, but I am a fan of airline stocks in other countries that are emerging markets or BRIC economies, which Goldman Sachs coined when I worked there. BRIC stands for Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Less of a fan of Russia these days. Yeah.